Hello, welcome to another episode of Reflections on Reality. I am your host. I am the advocate. I guess it goes without saying whose advocate I am. But today's topic is about afterlife. Um, Specifically the religious versions of the afterlives. Like, for instance, Christianity believes in a resurrection. And then you have other religions like Hinduism that believes in reincarnation. And I was just wondering, uh, which would I rather have if either of them were true? Would I rather want resurrection to be reality as far as the afterlife goes, or would I want uh, the other, reincarnation? And both of them has, in my opinion, more drawbacks than benefits. With one of them, it's more like a game of Russian roulette, and that one in particular I speak of as Christianity's resurrection. You only get one chance to get it right, and if you do, you go to an afterlife, a heavenly afterlife. And if you don't get it right, well, you get to meet me in person. And then it goes downhill from there. Nevertheless, when you talk about resurrection, I don't know if you've actually read the Bible, but I have. I've actually studied the Bible inside and out. And there are a lot of misconceptions about, let's say you make it, you die and go to heaven. And one of those misconceptions you often are privy to when you go to a funeral, especially if it's a friend or a family member. You hear people saying things like "rest in peace," and then the misconception comes when they say something like, "I'll see you eventually again in the next life." And according to the Bible, that's not how it works. Let's say if you do make it to heaven, you won't know your mother, your brother, your sister, or whoever, your wife, husband. You won't know any of those people by their former earth identity. It talks about that in the book of Revelation. Also, the Messiah, the Christian Messiah, even said it himself. That's not how it works. But yet, people still promote those kind of misconceptions. So, keep in mind, if you'd rather be resurrected, you're not gonna necessarily see your loved ones as you knew them by their earthly identities. Everything begins anew. Everybody gets, as it says in the Bible, a white stone, a new name, basically a new identity. But then, if you read the Bible carefully enough, there's a lot of catch-22s that the church don't tell its congregations about. And I'm willing to bet money that if they did, a lot of people would vacate Christianity, just like the ancient Israelites made the Exodus out of Egypt. And those catch-22s, you know what? I'll talk about that in another video. And then you got resurrection. If you don't get it right, it's possible you might come back in a lesser form of life, such as an animal or an insect. And then if you come back as something like that, a lesser form of intelligence, then what's to say you're gonna get it right? I mean, if you come back as a insect, then you're a caterpillar that's supposed to turn into a butterfly, and you get eaten by a lizard or something. I mean, or a bird as a caterpillar. I mean, does that mean you didn't get it right? Was there's something in your caterpillar karma that caused you to get eaten by a bird? Were you doing something wrong? I mean, that's a misfortune if you ask me. And they say all misfortunes, everything happens for a reason. And what could a caterpillar have done to warrant such bad luck? And then, if that's the case, what lesser form of life could a caterpillar come back as? I mean, it gets kind of tricky. I mean, human belief systems are very bizarre. And the God's honest truth is that a lot of it is speculation. And we won't know until we travel down that road. And then even that speculation. People sometimes say everything will be revealed to you at the end. How do you know? Anyway, that's just a reflection. Resurrection or reincarnation. And then another thing. Let's say if you happen to choose resurrection and you make it to heaven. And the book of Revelation goes into a bit more detail about the afterlife. But it just sounds, it reads, comes across as something, a very bland existence. Like being at a church service. A continuous church service. Forever. I mean, I think the last time I ever stepped foot in a church, the last time I stepped foot in a church was last August. And that was to attend a memorial service for a neighbor. Prior to that, August of 2019, it had been years. Because I read the Bible. And these church services are very deceptive. Very, very deceptive. They don't give you truth. They give you delusion. And they don't even abide by the Bible that they call the Word of God. So, I guess that would be another subject matter for another talk. Anyway, no matter which way you go, or no matter what you choose, it's just so much fantasy and delusion. It's just, it's overwhelming. Keeps you neurotic. That's for darn sure. And, I guess some people would rather be neurotic than to come to terms with whatever they believe might not be true. Anyway, this has been The Advocate. This has been another reflection on reality. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe on YouTube. you for listening. Have a good night.